question, so let's just see how that goes. I'm going to start because there's somebody coming at 2:30, so I'm just going to give this as much time as possible. I just want to say thank you for being here, and just want you to know that I have 15 bags here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody's feel free to take a bag because they all have a polishing pot, the gift certificate, and it's really good. So, the necklace that I had out on the table earlier is a sterling silver's sunflower. Thank you, sunflower. Take. So you're more than welcome. That's a thank you very much for being great. So what I'd like to do is just talk about the care and food and jewelry, but I wanted to start with a sweet little story. I don't know if anybody knows a woman, Agnes Sorrel. She was born in 1422. And she had a couple of things that Frieda in the history book. She was one of the first women to become the official mistress of a ruling king. It was King George VII of France. And the reason she became his mistress is because she was the first woman, I don't think in the well, let's say Europe at that time, because it was illegal to do so, she wore a diamond for the first time. She wore a diamond necklace. And evening, because she was part of the staff of the royal household, and she drove new attention from King George VII because of the diamond that she wore, and then she became his mistress for the next 28 years. So she had the courage to do it, and she started a trend. Because then in 1477, Mary of Burgundy received the first diamond ring as an engagement ever from Archduke Maximilian of Austria. So since 1477, diamonds have been used to show devotion to somebody you love. So it's been a long-standing tradition that people love their jewelry and give it, and people take care of it for many, many different reasons. So having said that, I just want to talk about how to take care of your jewelry because it is precious, and a lot of times people don't know what they do or don't do with it that's going to cause some damage. So the first thing that I would like to say is be careful of how you wear it. I've often said humorously enough that if you leave it in your jewelry box, I can guarantee you nothing's ever going to happen to your jewelry. But the minute you take it out and put it on, you're the moving part. So something that's going to receive no damage whatsoever, the minute you put it on, it's a very simple thing to just kind of bash it down and not know what's going to happen to it. And most often people who do damage your jewelry have no idea how they did it. So just be careful. And if you know you're going to be doing something that could put it in jeopardy, if you're going to move furniture or garden or garden. That's a big one, guys. Move furniture. Even if you're at home in the evening and you're cooking, be careful with it because you can bash a prong, you can crack a diamond, and that's a lot of people don't know that if you're trying hard enough, you can crack a diamond. People think that a diamond is the hardest substance on earth. It's not. It's just the hardest gemstone. So if you do whack it hard enough, you can crack a diamond. Because I tell people, well, how do you think we got to that shape to begin with? Because someone hit it very hard with something. So you can actually hit a diamond and crack it. So having said that, basically, again, ounce of prevention is certainly worth a pound of cure. Try not to put your jewelry in danger. I've been talking to a lot of folks today. If you keep your jewelry on 24/7, it reduces the life of your jewelry by about a third because that's like 8 hours of sleep that your jewelry is on your body, but you're not even really enjoying it. But yet, people can they pull their hair and they rip chains, and actually just the gentle motion of prongs every single night being rubbed on sheets. That's enough to start eroding the gold. And a lot of times what hurts gold mountings is when people, they shove their hands into their back pocket. That's just enough to really scrape some gold right off the surface. The worst profession that we've had in the store are nurses. Because nurses, they are always making beds, they're always shoving their hands, into, under patients and under mattresses. So it's a lot of rubbing, and it's a very gentle way of just eroding the gold off the top of the stone. So all I can say is wear it judiciously, be as careful as you can, and if not, anything can be fixed. So don't worry about it, we can make it happen. So what So as well as storing it properly is important. Try not to put precious objects like opals, malachite, lapis into situations that are too hot or too cold. A lot of people store their jewelry because they want to keep it safe. They store it in their attic or in their basement, and both of those locations can be prone to extremes of temperature. So your attic can become very cold in the winter, or very hot in the summer. Same thing in the basement, maybe a little bit too cold, but there are a lot of stones that don't respond well to that. Opals can crack, pearls can crack, like I said, malachite, lapis, so be very, very careful with those. Don't subject them to extremes of temperature. There's one story that the industry likes to tell. There was a woman who spent seriously $40,000 on an emerald from Harry Winston. That's a very high-end jewelry store in New York. And she had been to the opera. She had her hands in gloves while she was driving in her car. And she got out and she took her glove off to stick her key in the front door. Well, the extreme of temperature from being, let's just say, 98.6 against her body to the extreme temperature of having been, I think it was recorded like 10 or 20 below. The extreme of temperature from just taking her glove off made the emerald pop. I mean, it was a $40,000 emerald, and it just popped because of that extreme in temperature that was so rapid that it just caused it to crack. So there are things that you have to be careful about. I think if anybody here is a $40,000 emerald, I'm sure you're going to be very careful with it. So having said that, the next thing is just clean. Is if you keep it clean, it just makes it look prettier, and it doesn't allow dirt to kind of like grind into the surface and get into the back of it. So that's important to do. So it's storage, prevention, cleaning, and there's something else I want to know. Oh, and again, getting it checked regularly by somebody like us, because as a lot of you here today who stopped by my booth, if you have a problem that's worn, it starts to catch on things. So instead of being thick and strong, now it's getting a little thin. Now it's catching on everything. Then what happens when it catches on things? Then it can peel back. So once it starts to peel back, it's going to snap off, and then all of a sudden you have nothing holding your stone in anymore. So it's really important just to get us to look at it. The industry wants to say every 6 months, whenever you're by, but regularly enough so that if there's any work that needs to be done, we can nip it in the bud. And it's like your car. If you have a teal. Sorry, she has a runaway shopping cart. I didn't know where it was going to end up. And it has things sticking out of it. So I don't want anybody to get it. So again, just prevention by having work done ahead of time before you get into a lot of trouble, because it gets really expensive when you start losing stones. So have us maintain it, have us look at it. And so I just want to say, for those of you who don't know, my name is Frieda Hanlon. My husband and I have had Stars Jewelry Store in downtown Damariscotta for going into, oh my God, 25 years. We're just starting our 25th year this May. So again, please come in, talk to a professional, build a relationship with somebody like us, because then you really know what's going on with your jewelry, we know what's going on with your jewelry, and we can help you prevent expensive repairs, because again, it's bad enough when you have to start putting money into fixing prongs and reshanking things, but it's even worse when you have to start putting stones in. So having said that, there are certain stones, again, like I was saying earlier, you have to be careful of more than others. Soft stones are, again, pearl, malachite, lapis, but the semi-precious stones are also a little softer too, like garnet, amethyst, peridot, citrine. So if you ever have any questions, come in and ask us, because some stones are more durable than others. The only stones that most jewelers will tell you are durable enough for everyday wear is diamond, sapphire, and ruby. So those can take a little bit more of a pounding, but again, bearing in mind, they had to be hit to get to that certain shape, so try not to get into another shape which you probably don't like as much. So just always have us come in, feel free to come in and have us check your jewelry. We're happy to clean it. It just looks better, it's nicer, and again, ounce prevention is worth the pound of cure. So what we always do is if you're home and don't have a special jewelry cleaner, you really don't need one, we just use Windex. Put a Windex in a cup, and make sure windows look really nice and it's a glass sparkle. So just soak it in a little Windex in a cup, scrub it up with a toothbrush, and the toothbrush, get it underneath. It's all the junk is underneath the stone, not on top of it. So get it in there under a little water.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Ladies' Day. I have to announce 3 more winners in our door prize drawing. Barb Bradley, Laura Moskwa, and Lily Taylor. We have Barb Bradley, Laura Moskwa, and Lily Taylor. If you're in the store, please come to the customer desk and claim your prize. And thanks for joining us today.
So having said that, again, just prevention, care, have us check things, store them properly. Ideally, the industry says don't let your jewelry, sit together in a jewelry box because you're going to scratch it. But I mean, that's I think asking an awful lot. I know I just throw my things in. that's another thing too, I also want to put that out there. When I go home, I just take it all off. So I know that I can use my hands any way I want to, and I'm not going to hurt my jewelry. So I'm just going to talk a little more, but I'd love to get some questions from the audience too. If you have questions about any specific piece that you own, any advice on caring for anything in particular, if you have something you'd like me to look at, I'd be happy to do that too. Laura.
I've heard that pearls and freshwater pearls are more fragile. Is that true? And how do you take care of them?
Back to the ounce of prevention. It depends on how you're wearing them. I mean, not a lot, well, I want to say not a lot happens to earrings. Necklaces, what happens to necklaces is it's the stringing that really actually, well, it's the stringing and chemicals too. The advice is if you're wearing pearls and a necklace, always put it on after you put on any chemical. Like if you've gotten out of the shower and you use, body creams or hair products or anything, because there's often alcohol in those products, that can actually dry out a pearl. So the idea is that you put your pearls on last. You get, you get yourself all dressed, and then, whatever you want to spray into your body, however that works, make sure you're nice and dry, and then put your pearls on last. There's the stringing that people often don't think of too. We've known a lot of people who they want to wear their pearls all the time. It's the stringing is actually just a fabric. It's basically it's a poly silk. So it's a silk and polyester combination. If you get it wet and continually wet, the wetness stays inside the pearl, so it eventually erodes away in the pearl. So again, you want to keep them dry. You don't want to shower with them. You don't want to swim with them on. The same thing for the surface, again, can generally be damaged by, it's generally chemicals, but abrasion too. Again, know a lot of ladies who put their pearl earrings in and they leave them on 24/7. They sleep with them, and the surface of the pearl can just be eroded away because it is very soft. It's porous, it's organic, and a ring, I would never recommend it for an everyday, like leave it on all the time ring. They're really, again, but you have to respect them because they are really, really soft. So be careful with chemicals, be careful with how you rub them, and always watch for the stringing. Again, the industry says that if you wear your pearls on a regular basis, they should be restrung once a year. That sounds like a lot to me because that was maybe from a day where, a woman got dressed, maybe whatever she's doing, she'd wear her pearls every single day. If it's every day, yeah, once a year, fine. If not, just judge them. Again, come in and have somebody like us, like take a look at them and see how your pearl. I valued some for family who was out there earlier, and their pearls hadn't been restrung for, 40 years, and it was falling. So, thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
I was once told with pearls you could just wash them in soap and water and
on a from time to time basis, because the soap and water won't hurt the pearls, it's back to the concept of the stringing. So if you get the stringing wet, if you do that once in a while, block them dry and then let them dry. Don't put them in a plastic bag, because again, if you keep the stringing wet, just like if you always kept your laundry wet, it's not good for the fabric.
Soap or detergent would be good.
I'm sorry, you mean soap like hard soap?
Yeah, that was good. Does it have to be soap or detergent?
I would say soap is better. Detergent, in my mind, because when I'm thinking of a lot of detergents, again, they have, maybe some artificial scents. Yeah,
Colors and all kinds of stuff.
Colors and yeah, the colors. I never even thought about the colors. That's good. They might have an artificial. I was going to say not smell. This is what I'm looking for. Scent.
Fragrance.
That again, fragrance. Thank you. Thank you. The guy in the audience. Fragrance that might contain alcohol. Because fragrance contains alcohol, and again, that's the thing that might break down the fibers of the stringing. So I would say just very gently, just use your fingers, and then run them under a little bit of warm water, and then block it dry, and make sure again that you get the. That's something I would only do once every few years, because again, you don't want to keep the stringing wet, because if you kept your clothes, it stretches and it starts to break down. So every once in a while, they say that what pearls like most is to be worn, because they really like the warmth of your body, and they like the natural oils in your body, not skin creams and perfumes, because again, there's usually alcohol in the fragrances. So, but they do actually like to be worn. So, anybody else have any questions about anything to prevent damage or to extend the life of something, how certain stones behave? Anything about period jewelry?
I love your necklace. That's an
Thank you.
That was a wash hog.
It was at one time. It's called an intaglio, basically because it's a recessed carving in. A cameo is a relief carving. I don't know if you don't mind, I'll launch onto this. A cameo is a relief carving. So most often done with shell or some type of hard stone that has a banded coloring, so that you carve away the top, you expose the back side, so that's how you get the chemical layers. So this is the actual opposite of a cameo, because a cameo is a relief carving. This goes into the stone, so it's called, well, in the Italian they say intaglio. It's an intaglio, so it's carved in. Probably from about, it's on a new chamber, it's probably from about like the 1890s. It's actually, if you got a closer look, it's a little more brown, so but you're right, they're done often in, I think it's a dark brown.
Is it an onyx?
They're related. Carnelians, onyxes, agates, they're all in the same family. So yeah, they're different stone colors are called different names, even though it's the same family. So yeah, it's an onyx, but if it's a red onyx, it's called carnelian. There's green onyxes and blue onyxes, which makes the point about different gemstones too. Ruby and sapphire are actually the same stone, but they're both called corundum. Now, corundum in its natural state is actually clear. It's a clear stone, but different chemical impurities cause different colors to occur. So when you have, and I don't know the chemical compositions of every gemstone out there, but when you get certain ingredients in a clear stone and it turns blue, then you can call it sapphire. You get a different chemical impurity in the clear corundum and it turns red, you can call it ruby. So a lot of stones that have, like, they're the same family, but they have different names based on the colors that are a result of the impurities that are usually in a clear stone. Same thing as emerald and aquamarine are the same stone, but the family name is beryl, so B-E-R-Y-L. If certain impurities occur and it turns green, you call it emerald. Same background stone, different impurities occur and it's blue, you call it aquamarine. Same stone, different impurities. If it turns pink, that's called morganite. If it turns yellow, it's called heliodor. So I'm just saying it's...
Are they all just as soft as an emerald?
Emeralds,
generally a soft stone.
actually, that's its reputation, but it's a fine point to say that it's not like so much that it's soft, but it's brittle. So you're right, Deb, in that regard, that there's a problem with emeralds, because emeralds, when beryl turns green, the impurities that cause beryl to turn green, it's such a rare stone to find pure. So those imperfections that we accept in emerald, those natural